So we got Bedford ready to receive the ball. Back deep is number 5, Mumpini, and number 17, Donahue for Bedford.
And we'll see who lines up to kick for the Little Green. They're coming out in their green pants, white jerseys with silver numbers. Might make it a little hard to make out.
That's going to be your job tonight, Harry.
Bedford all black with red trim. And kicking off will be number 35. Get that number for you shortly.
All right, we're ready to get this thing going. What do you got to carry, Harry?
Carl August is the kicker.
Carl's ready to kick it off. Kick is
it's onside. It's going to head out of bounds. It's going to
go outside, and it's going out of bounds, so that's going to be a penalty right off the bat. Tried to do a little trickery, and it didn't work. Bedford's going to get possession of the ball with a 5-yard penalty. They'll be in pretty good shape.
So Cam Sweeney actually was the one who made the kick. August stepped aside, and Sweeney got his foot on the ball. Unfortunately, it went right for the sideline. And it's going to give Bedford a pretty good field position to start off the game.
So 4-0 Bedford trying to make it 5-0, and the Central Little Green visiting here. We'll see what the Bedford Bulldogs have in store. They're wide open spread offense. Morgan comes out. Bedford comes out with 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Handoff, Toscano, big hole, up the middle, gets out to about midfield, just before midfield. They're going to give him midfield. Big pickup of 15 yards.
Toscano had a great big hole to drive through on that play, and once he gets ahead of steam, by the time he hits the line of scrimmage, you're not going to just, knock him over. He's got too much momentum, and he went for about 15 yards on that play.
So 2 receivers set, 1 to the left, 2 to the right. Looks like we've got Lagulon in the tight end slot. Morgan ready for the snap. Morgan, Lagulon, a little trickery coming this way. Gets over to 50, flag goes down. 45, 40. This is probably going to come back the way the flag gets thrown. That's going to be a hold. That's going to come back.
That's too bad. Another good play there that is going to be nullified by a Bedford penalty. Just the kind of thing we talked about at the start of the game, about eliminating dumb penalties that give you the other side a fighting chance.
Well, we've been talking about this for years. It's about penalties and injuries, how teams get, shoot themselves in the foot, and the turnovers. Let's not forget about that's the trifecta, which will affect the team's destiny at any time during the year. So we hope the kids all walk off the field healthy at the end of this game, both sides, Central and Bedford. So
they're going to set him back about 9 yards. The holding call happened a yard in front of the line of scrimmage. So a 9-yard loss there. 1st and 19 at the 41, the Bedford 41, going from
Bedford comes out with 2 receivers set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting the snap. Snap comes back to pass. Delayed to Toscano, 45, 50, waiting for a block, 45, gets almost into the 40-yard line of Central. Nice pickup. Not quite 19, so
18 yards
18-yard run.
And there you go, that the power that Toscano had on that run. He didn't have any blockers. He was moving his way, wading his way through all the Little Green defenders, and he was just dragging them to the 41.
A little bit of a draw. 10:30 to go, Bedford into Central territory, with Morgan waiting for the snap. Toscano in the backfield. Back, fires this side, hits Mumpini. Mumpini gets to a 35, 34, 33 before a host of Little Green drag him down. 10:15 to go in the first quarter. There's no score. Bedford with possession here at Bulldog Stadium against Manchester Central High School.
And Mumpini fighting for every inch there. Got the extra yard by falling forward.
So Mumpini and Green off to the left. 2 receivers set to the left, 1 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap. Comes back, fakes to Toscano, comes this way, tucks it, runs, gets to the 30, 20, 19 before he's brought down. That's a nice pickup, and that's going to be a first down.
Yeah, that fake that Toscano froze the the central linebackers for a moment and opened up the path for Morgan to get a nice gain there. Picked up another first down.
So far, Central's not answering what Bedford's bringing to the table with their spread offense. Pretty potent. They're going to run. They're going to throw off it. Again, spread them out. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Looks like Donahue and Lagulon in motion. Hand off to Lagulon, far side, cuts up, gets inside close to the 10-yard line. And 9 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bedford's driving.
The lateral motion on that play gets the defense moving one way, and then Lagulon finds the seam and cuts up and picks up nice yardage there.
So 2nd and 2, ball is on the 10-yard line. Bedford's trying to get a little confusion out there while they get set. Looks like Morgan's adjusting the play at the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers set, 1 far to the right, 2 to the left. Toscano shifts behind Morgan. Lagulon, tight end. Morgan takes it, run all the way, tries to cut up, and he's going to be brought down. It's going to be no gain, maybe a loss.
Yeah, Central was ready for that play. They weren't fooled by the motion, and they cut off all the lanes for Morgan. He was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So 3rd down and 3 to go from the 11-yard line with 8:26 to go here at Bedford Bulldog Stadium. No score. Bedford driving inside the central red zone. This started on their own 35-yard line, and they've consumed almost 4 minutes of the quarter so far.
Well, they're definitely within Luke and Tony's range here, but you know they want to get 7 right now.
I'm sure they do. 2 receivers set to the left, 1 to the right. Hand off to fake to Toscano, and Morgan up the middle. No one's going to touch him. Touchdown. Nice play. So 7:59 to go. Morgan scores on an 11-yard touchdown run to put Bedford on the score. 6-0.
And Morgan did a terrific job selling that play action with the handoff to Toscano. The Central defense was fully expecting Big Ryan to try to gain those last 2 yards, and they completely bit on the fake, and really Morgan walked in almost untouched.
Luca Toni back to add 1. Waiting for the snap. Down, kick is up, and it is good. So Madison Lucatoni is having a great year. We don't have the stats on her, but we know she's kicked a ton of extra points, some long field goals, including a 40-yarder in the opening jamboree to win it for Bedford. 7:59 to go in the first quarter. Bedford draws first blood. They're up 7-0 over the Central Little Green, Manchester Central Little Green.
Except for the holding play that cost them 10 yards. It was a picture-perfect drive for the Bulldogs. A lot of misdirection, a lot of play action that had Central guessing on some plays. And, Coach Ryan's going to be talking to his defense about not holding back just a little bit and not biting on the first fake. Try to take a moment to read what Bedford's doing and maybe slow them down just a little bit.
So Bedford's ready to kick off to Central, and in the back for Central, you're right, Harry, about these numbers. I think Old Bryce is back there, number 5, and I'm trying to get the other Central guy. It looks like that might be, that's that Manana back there. That could be number 8 for Central. Bedford ready to kick this thing off, going from our left to right. Kick is a high kick, end over end. Looks like that's going to come down to Manana, I believe. Gets to the 20, breaks free
finds the hole.
to 30, 35-yard line. Nice pickup before he stopped.
Yeah, missed tackle there on the part of the Bulldogs, giving up some extra yardage. You'll probably notice that new kicker Bobotis is taking over kickoff duty. A little bit more of a leg, maybe not as accurate a field goal kicker as Luke Toni,
yeah.
But definitely gets the ball further downfield.
So here comes the Central Little Green, and we're going to see Hockham, how he brings out his little green men here. We got 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Manana is in the backfield with Hockham. Hockham overlooking the defense, trying to get a last-minute adjustment from Ray, makes the adjustment, waiting for the snap. Hockham takes it, hands it to Manana, and immediately tackled in the backfield. Probably a 4 or 5 yard loss. There's no way he was going anywhere in that one.
That was Torrey Helton who just torpedoed into the backfield.
So
took away 4 yards there.
So if Bedford continues to dominate the Central offensive line like they did the defensive line, you're going to see some you're going to see some movement on the Bedford side this year. So here we go. 7:31 to go. Central comes out. 2 receiver set. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Hockham in the backfield. In the backfield with Hockham is either Smith going back to pass, and he's going down. 55. Twite brings him down on another loss. Big loss. That's a 5 or 6 yard loss.
Yeah, the Central tight end just couldn't. It was like a turnstile there. Couldn't slow him down. He went right around him and right into Hockham.
I did hear recently that the Twite relatives listen week after week down in the Atlanta area, so I want to welcome all the fans from the Peachtree State up to Bedford Bulldog Stadium tonight. 6:51 to go in the first quarter. Central comes out 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Hockham back to pass, looks up, and he's being chased, takes the ball, tucks it, but he's going nowhere. He's swallowed, dropped at the
25, 26,
30 yard line. Yeah.
So that is not the direction the Little Green wanted to go. 2 straight losses on plays, and then only a slight gain back there by Hockham. Had nowhere to throw. The Bedford secondary shutting down all the receivers, so we're ready to punt here, 4th and 14.
We covered the thing in the beginning, Harry, about containing Hockham. You got to put pressure on him because he can run. You got to keep this guy in the pocket, not let him get outside or break containment because he's such a good athlete. He's going to make things happen. Chunks of yardage, 25, 30 yards at a whack, but that time Bedford seemed to have contained him, and we got our first timeout.
It was interesting. I didn't see anybody back to receive. Usually Mumpini is the punt receiver, and he wasn't on the field at that moment. So I believe Bedford got their substitutions a little crossed up, and they had to call the timeout there, and they did. That was their first timeout.
Well, early timeout, but you know what? You might as well take it. You don't want to have the going back there to receive a punt. But 6:04 to go in the first quarter with Bedford Bulldogs leading 7-0 over the visiting Central Green. Central High Little Green, excuse me.
I don't have the opponent handy, but Pinkerton is on the board with a touchdown, 7-0 against whoever they're playing.
I think they're playing Salem tonight.
So that's a great contest right there.
That should be a good contest. Just got another score, and the Bedford girls volleyball team wrapped up in 3 sets, 25-20 win. So they're going to go to 5-1 in the season. Central punts. Back is
Axton.
So 45 midfield, 50 gets into Central territory about the 48-yard line. Axton, you said back there to cover.
Number 21.
So
Michael Axton with the about 11-yard return there. Got it at the 40 and then brought it into Central territory at the 48-yard line. So 5:52 left here in the first quarter, and Bedford once again with a strong field position in Central territory.
And brought to you by BCTV Channel 23 and WBNH-LP Bedford 105.1, streaming over the World Wide Web. Bedford out, 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Morgan waiting for the snap. Lagoon in motion, handoff to Harry, far side, gets to the 35, up to the 40 before a host of Central players brings him down. Nice pickup of about 8 yards.
Yeah, jet sweep there by Lagoon on a timing play. He had to cross Morgan's field of vision right at the snap, and he changed direction momentarily and was able to pick up an extra 5 yards there.
Second down, 2 yards to go on the Central 40. Bedford with their second possession. They scored in their first, and they're up 7-0 with the Luca Toni extra point. 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap, comes back, hands it to Toscano, up the middle, broken tackle. Another broken tackle, gets up to the 35-yard line. They got to tackle him if they're going to stop this kid, Harry.
Yeah, there's no wrapping up Toscano. He's got too much power, too much momentum when he hits that line, and the front 7 of Central is learning that fact right now.
So the spread offense is not a lot of time, so they're up and at him, ready to go. Again, 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap, fumbles the ball, and Central falls on it. So that was just a bad handoff.
Another miscue there that could come back to haunt Bedford, and it gives Central a little bit of life here. Being able to, Bedford was in great field position, marching down the field, and instead of points by the Bulldogs, Central's able to get the ball back, and they have pretty good field position at the 36-yard line with 4:49 left in the first quarter.
So that looked like he was reading the tackle, and if he was the tackle did one thing, he was going to pull the ball back in and go. That just was a mishandle on Morgan's part. So anyways, Hockham brings out the Central 3 receiver set to the 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Hockham back, looks this way, fires, and it is caught.
Looks like a catch.
It's a nice catch. And that's number 2 for Central.
Davey Hawkins. I'm sorry, wrong number. It's Dylan Feliciano for the Little Green.
Feliciano, we mentioned that name earlier. I think this is the same kid who had 4 interceptions against either Merrimack at the beginning of the year. So as a D-back, he's a threat too. So just Feliciano on that catch, number 2.
By the way, North has tied up their game, also missing an extra point. It's 6-6 with 1:59 left in the first half.
2nd and 4, balls on the 42, 4:14 to go. Central with the ball, moving from our right to left. Hockham ready for the snap, takes a snap, immediately comes this way over the 40, 45, gets up to the 48-yard line, and that's going to be a first down. So that was an automatic quarterback keeper coming this way, picked up the first down.
And great way to hold on to the ball there. Hockham had Zach Guerin reach in, try to pull that ball away from him on the play, and he was able to hang on to it. So first down there for the Little Green on a Hockham run.
So their first down of the game. So hopefully they're not going to rack up too many of those against Bedford. But again, it's a very potent Central offense. Veteran guys like Hockham. I know O'Bryce, been around a few years. So again, 3 receivers set to the left, 1 to the right. Hockham waiting, look, fires far side, and incomplete. I thought the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
It was. Number 24 got his hand up on that, and I don't have a roster number for 24. This current Bedford roster doesn't list a number 24, so I'm not sure.
That was number 23. Who's number 23 for Central, Harry? He was the receiver who dropped the ball.
That was Travell Randolph.
Okay. 3:18, clock stops. Central 2nd and 10, balls on the 48. 3 receivers set to the right, 1 to the left. Hockham waiting for the snap, gets a snap, goes back, looks far side, fires into the flats. That's caught. Number 23 breaks it, 40. 1 tackle to beat, beats it. Gets down to the 20, to the 18. It's a great pickup. Same guy, 23, Harry.
That was Randolph, yeah. Nice. Hockham had a little more time to find his receiver on that play and found Randolph on the flat. And Bedford had a chance to wrap him up at about the 40-yard line, but Randolph was able to spin out of the tackle and pick up an extra 15 or 20 yards. And now Central's knocking on the door on the 17-yard line. 1st
and 10, ball on the 17, 2:58 to go. So Ryan Ray made some adjustments. He's finding some cracks in the Bedford defense, and Hockham is moving the Central Little Green deep into Bedford territory, into the red zone. 2:46 and counting. So Central out with a 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. They're starting to, he's under pressure, fires far side, incomplete. So they had some blitzing going on that one, Harry, and I think there was some pressure on Hockham, and he fired incomplete.
Yeah, I think he just threw it out of bounds to avoid the loss there instead of trying to make a play. 2:35 to play here in the first. They'll be 2nd and 10 on the 17 for Central.
So Central with a nice drive. It started on their 36-yard line, and pretty impressive so far.
And unfortunate, it's coming off a Bedford fumble. Points off turnovers can really swing a game.
So 2 receivers set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Hockham waiting for the snap. Hockham back, fires into the flats, caught. Comes this way and dragged down. I'm not sure he got back to the line of scrimmage, but clock's going to keep going. And that's number 36 for Central. That's Verano for Central. 2:20 to go.
I wonder if Coach Stank has dialed back the pass rush a little bit, because it looks like Hockham's having a little more time back there.
Well, you got to put pressure on this kid. We talked about that. You got to contain him. You got to put pressure. But when you do that, if you put in pressure, that opens up the middle. Sometimes a linebacker's coming. You're going to have some opening in the flats, and that's what's happening so far. So Central with the ball now on the Bedford 18-yard line, 3rd and 11, under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. 2 receivers set to the right, 2 to the left. Hockham in the backfield, Straight back, looks far side, fires far side, and that is incomplete. So that's going to bring up 4th and 11, but, you know, unless they got a kicker, this is 2-down territory for the Central Little Green.
Dylan Feliciano there, the ball bouncing off his hands, but to be honest, it looked like he had a foot out of bounds when
he was close
trying
to
make
the sidelines, yeah.
So
Good
I'm not sure
observation.
if he made the catch if it was going to be a completed ball. So it's 4th and 11 now. We'll see what they decide to do here.
So 4th and 11, they are going to come up. They are going to try this thing, 2-down territory. Obviously, their kicker, either they don't have a kicker or they don't have any faith in the kicker. This would definitely be within Luca Toni's range for sure.
Yeah, this would be about a 36, 37-yard attempt if they were trying to kick it. Now we have a timeout by Central. Maybe they're going to think it over.
So Central wanted to come out and see what Bedford brought from their defensive stance, and so he's talking it over now because it's a big play. Harry, what do you got for us upcoming scores?
We have a score for the Timberlane Owls with a 6-0 lead over Portsmouth with 5:50 to go in the first quarter.
Okay.
And also in Nashua, North and South are tied at 6 apiece.
All right.
And the Astros actually lead 7-0 over Salem.
So that's still a little tight with Salem. They thought that was going to be a tight match. In the paper, I think they gave Pinkerton the nod on that one, but Salem always brings their game, so they're not going to roll over. At least initially, it doesn't look like it. They're down only 7 points. So,
you know, looking at the schedule, I think Bedford definitely caught a break as far as how many difficult teams. The real power in the Division I this year is in the South, and partly not the West, but the South and the East are the real power conferences this year, and those teams are going to be beating themselves up before.
Central comes out, 2 receivers set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Hawcom waiting for the snap, comes back, looks down the middle, and he takes off, fires, and that's going to be batted down, incomplete. So Bedford's going to take over on downs. Hawcom was being tackled as he threw.
Yeah, he was in the grasp when he let that ball go.
So Bedford's going to take over. They stop Central on the 18-yard line.
And they erased the turnover that gave Central the ball on the 36.
Stopped on down, so Bedford's going to take over on the 18-yard line for their third possession of the first quarter with 1:33 to go.
And they get right to the line of scrimmage, ready to play.
Yeah, so Bedford's their spread offense, they get this thing cranking. 2 receivers set to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap, looks back, looks far side, fires complete, and immediately brought down. That was number 6, Sanchez. So
that picks up about 2 yards there. Quick out, got wrapped up immediately.
So you throw a couple of those quick outs and then lure them into sleep and then do a hook and go, and all of a sudden you have somebody wide open down the field. That's probably for later on. But again, Bedford comes out with their spread offense. Same format, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. This time it is handed off to Toscano, far side, and he's brought down for maybe a yard gain with 1:55 to go in the first quarter. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 7 on the 21-yard line, Harry. We may or may not get into the second quarter.
Andrew Farrell, by the way, made that tackle. He was one of the tacklers on Toscano on that play for Central, the big lineman.
So looks like Morgan's making an adjustment at the line of scrimmage. Same format, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap, drops straight back, looks downfield, fires far
rush.
side. And it looks like
it's a catch.
They're going to give him a great catch. That's number 11 for Bedford, and that's going to be Green on a nice sideline catch. Was it enough for the first down?
He went up like a basketball player going up for a rebound. Got both hands on the ball, lots of elevation, was able to come down with 2 feet in bounds.
Well, Tim Green, 6'2", 180. He's got the size, so we'll see what we got there. Jennings is saying a couple of inches that they aren't going to get it, but the sticks are out there, and the officials are saying...
It looks like it's good here from where we are.
First down. Nice call, Harry. Tough. Try again next time, Bill, but that was close. I'm glad he was rooting for the hometown team.
Hey, you know, we call it even here.
21 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Definitely try not to play favorites here on the broadcast.
1st and 10, ball is on the 28-yard line now with Bedford coming out with a quick adjustment here. We're going to go split receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the left, 2 to the right. two in the backfield now with Morgan. Morgan hands off to Toscano, far side, gets up maybe 3 yards. And that's probably going to be enough to end the first quarter here, Harry. Looks like it is.
Central doing a better job of corralling Toscano on the last few running plays. Maybe they're just more prepared for him when he comes in, trying to gird themselves for the power that he delivers.
So, end of the first quarter, Bedford with a 7-0 lead over the visiting Central Little Green. Bedford went down in their first possession and scored from a 11-yard run by Morgan. And Maddie with the extra point, 7-0. Central in their last possession got it down to the Bedford 18 when they had a turnover on downs. That's as close as Central's got. But end of the first quarter, Bedford leading 7-0.
Well, whatever Coach Ryan did, adjusting his defense has been effective here on the last few Bedford possessions. The yards are not coming quite as easy as they did on the first drive. You know, we saw the ease of which Bedford moved the ball on the first possession, getting 7 points on the board. And the last two times they fumbled the ball. And on this drive here, they're going to have a 2nd and 6, and Toscano has been bottled up effectively by that front seven by Central. So this is going to be a tougher fight going forward. This is definitely, out of the entire schedule, this game and maybe the Merrimack game are really the two difficult opponents that the Bulldogs are going to be facing.
I was looking at that schedule, and I did see the same thing you saw, Merrimack, and I'm not sure if that's home or away. And if it's away, it's
going to be here, right here at the Bulldog Stadium. So that'll be a home game for the Bedford.
2nd and 6, ball in the 33, second quarter starting, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Morgan fakes, hands off, fires to the far side, complete, up to the 40, 45-yard line.
A nice fake there. It was kind of a screen, or at least a pass out to the flat, sort of a lateral pass. And Lagulon was able to avoid the tacklers and pick up some extra yards, enough for a first down there.
Nice catch and run by Harry. He does move the sticks. 11:43 to go in the second quarter now. Bedford comes out with a 3-receiver split to the left, 1 to the right. Morgan hands off to Toscano and immediately gets brought down, but falls forward for a couple of yards. So
yeah, he got met in the backfield by number 63. Don't have number for 63. Maybe I read the number wrong, but
well, it might have been 67, and that would be God Boys.
And he got slowed down there, and then was lucky to get about a yard out of that play.
So 2nd and 9, he gained 1 on that. Ball is on the 46-yard line. Bedford 2 receivers split, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan straight back to pass, sets up a screen, hits Toscano, midfield, cuts up, 45, 40, gets into the 39-yard line of the Central Little Green with a nice pickup and a first down.
Toscano's powerful, but he's also fast and he's shifty. And when he got that screen pass, he was able to deke out a couple of members of the Central secondary and pick up extra yardage there and get into Central territory for a first down.
1st and 10, 10:43 to go. Bedford with possession, going from our right to left and leading 7-0 over the Central Little Green here at Bedford Bulldog Stadium. Morgan back, fakes
another
it.
Fumble there, or almost fumble.
Almost fumble. Toscano gets to the 35-yard line and then brought down. Yeah, good hands to hold on to that, Harry.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble there on the handoff. The ball just kind of bounced around inside Toscano's hand, and he couldn't take off until he had the ball secured, and that might have cost him a gain there. He still was able to get about 4 yards, but he had to wait until he had that ball secured.
2nd down, 6 to go. Ball's on the 35-yard line of the Central Little Green, with Bedford leading 7-0 and 10:03 to go in the second quarter. Morgan brings them out, 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Morgan, little dipsy-do, back to Harry, cut back. Harry comes up, 2 or 3 guys bringing him down. Boy, that looked like a late hit to me.
First down.
Definitely got a first down.
Down to the 25-yard line. That was a kind of a misdirection play. The play was moving to the left, and Lagulon came to the right, and he was able to receive the pitch from.
And the nice part about that is everybody focused on Toscano, and all of a sudden you hand it to Harry going the opposite way, and he picks up a first down. So 1st and 10 on the ball on the 25-yard line.
Even if Lagulon had dropped that probably would have been considered a forward pass. It would have been an incomplete pass.
2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Morgan. Now this is a pitch Coming up field, breaking all kinds of tackles is Toscano, and looks like he got
down to 17.
Down to the 7. Not quite a first down, but good 8 or 9 yard pickup.
Another score at the end of the first. Salem tied things up against Pickerton. It's now 7-7.
So Bedford comes out with a 2 receiver set, 1 to the right, 2 to the left. Looks like Harry, strong side, lining up in the tight end slot. Morgan waiting for the snap with Toscano. Fake to Toscano, looks downfield, fires downfield, and overthrows. Looks like a late flag coming.
Might have been a holding.
And out it comes. Yeah, they were trying to hit Sanchez on that. Sanchez might have been.
He got held up.
Been held. That's going to be an automatic first down. That came from this near side official, and he had a good view of it.
They're talking it over right now, waiting for the. No, they're going to call it pass interference, so that could be half the distance to goal.
So ball's on the 17. They're going to mark it off. It's definitely a first down. There's no question. Just where they're going to mark this thing off. Bedford inside of Central Territory with 8:46 to go. That penalty is going to bring it to the 7-yard line, Harry? 8.
I believe it's the 8. The scoreboard indicates
first
9.
And 10, 9. So we'll go with the scoreboard
it's a short 9
from our angle. So Bedford comes out with a split set, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan, threatening to put their second score on the board. Waiting for the snap. Morgan, Toscano up the middle. No, he keeps it and goes right. Got me even faked.
Fooled everybody. He was a really good play action fake there.
Got down to the goal line. Well, it's easy to fake me out, but that was a nice fake.
No, Morgan really is selling it, and of course the Central defenders have to respect Toscano getting the ball. So
no question.
Now we've got a penalty flag down, a touchdown by Morgan on the sneak, but they're going to call that an illegal procedure.
Come back, yeah. 8:23 to go, and that's going to come back. But they're first. So now that's going to be first and goal from the 6-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. Second. Corey, volleyball in 3 sets. Yeah.
Boys varsity soccer score from Concord, 5-0 win for the boys. Junior varsity playing to a 1-1 draw today.
So Bedford comes out now with their spread offense. 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan from the 6-yard line. First and goal from the 6. Actually, second and goal from the 6. Morgan back, fires, and overthrows number 11.
Over the head of Green.
Yeah.
And that was actually a really good play by Morgan to get down a high snap on the shotgun. He was able to grab it right by his head there. So a one-hand grab, very slick, but the throw off the mark to Green.
So that's going to bring third and goal from the 6 with 8:19 to go. That stops the clock on that incompletion. And Bedford comes out. Looks like we got two receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tight end, far side. Morgan with Toscano in the backfield. Morgan waiting for the snap. Looks like Central jumped. That's going to go Toscano far side, and no one's touching him. That's a 6-yard touchdown run by Toscano.
If that's encroachment on Central, the play will stand.
At 8:16 to go in the second quarter, that was Toscano.
And we haven't gotten the official word yet, but the way everybody's acting, I think the play will stand. So Toscano with the sweep had a clear lane to the corner of the end zone there.
82-yard march for Bedford on that, and Luca Toni in to add the extra point. Snap down, ball's up, and the
Beautiful.
kick is good. So Luca Toni adds 1, and Bedford goes up 14-0 with 8:16 to go in the second quarter over the Central Little Green of Manchester Central.
That was a great drive, of course, by the Bulldogs. I want to make one comment, though, about the kicking game of Maddie Lucantoni. Her kicks have such a beautiful arc to them that it's really hard for the opponent to try to get a block on it.
Not only is it really hard, but it shows you the leg that this athlete has and how much extra room once it clears the goal, the field goal post. So she's easily a 20, 25, 30-yard weapon out there.
And she's not putting her full leg into these extra points, but you can see that the ball's traveling a good 25, 30 yards.
Harry, we got a Central player down there. It looks like they're attending them. Looks like a lower leg injury. Do you got a number on that?
Looks like number 52. That is
Collins.
Joseph Martinez is the player. Yes, number 52. He's up. I got his back number, and it is number 52. He's hobbling off the field a little bit, but he's going off on his own power.
Yeah, that would have been the Bedford player on 52, but that was a Central player that was down, and he's up on his own power. He's limping, but he's up.
Another score in Merrimack is up by a score of 12-3 at the end of the first quarter.
So Central is ready to receive this. That's Old Bryce deep, 8:16 to go. Bedford ready to kick this thing. 8:16 to go in the second quarter. Central ready to receive.
And Bobotis is
away. Nice high, end over end. Old Bryce takes it, comes up, cuts in the middle, gets to the 25-yard line and maybe the 26 and no further.
He runs right into the scrum and has no place to escape out of that. So they drop him right there at the 26-yard line. 8:08 remaining here in the second quarter, with the Bulldogs up 14-0. And we'll see what Central comes up with on this drive. They actually moved the ball very well in their last possession. They just ran out of gas. Turned the ball over on downs deep in Bedford territory.
So let's see what Hockham can do with the Central Little Green as they come out with a two-receiver split, two to the right, two to the left. Looks like Manana in the backfield with Hockham. Hockham waiting for the snap. Hands off to Manana. He gets gobbled up, and he gets a couple of yards for Central, far side.
Picks up 2 on the play. Really no hole to speak of. That was pure power by Manana, trying to get what he did get. Got a score update here. Dover up on Spalding, 7-0. That's in the second quarter.
So Central comes out with their spread offense. 2 receivers set to the left, 2 to the right. Manana in the backfield with Hockham. Hockham looks far side.
Almost intercepted.
That should have been picked off. And I think that was Guerin. If Guerin wanted Guerin had big eyes when that ball was coming, went right through his hands. That would have been 6 to the house.
I mean, it was a high pass, but he definitely should have pulled that in, got both hands on it, and broke up. At least he broke up the play and put Central in a 3rd and long.
3rd and 8, balls on the 28-yard line of Central. Hockham trying to draw Bedford off. 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Manana in the backfield with Hockham making some adjustments. Waiting for the snap. Hockham back the pass all the way, looks downfield. The Sutter steps down, fires, now goes deep downfield, and that is going to be incomplete. He stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a nice throw, but it was a little too far out of bounds at the Bedford 40-yard line.
Janice for Central, incomplete, stepped out of bounds. Nice throws there.
And he had Bedford player on him, ready to pull him down there. So definitely showed a lot of strength there to get such a long pass, a good, 35, 40-yard throw with a Bedford player hanging off him.
So
but it's all for naught.
It's the second time Central went 3 and out. Now they're going to turn the ball over on with a punt for back for Bedford. That's got to be
that's 21.
For
that
Bedford.
Is Michael Axton.
Mike Axton. Usually that's Mumpini back there, but Axton's getting some time back there. Timeout for, not sure who called the timeout, but with 7:28 to go till halftime, Bedford leading 14-0 over the visiting Central Little Green of Manchester, New Hampshire. Bedford's not putting the points up they've done in the past to these teams they've played, but they're doing very well here at home and leading by 2 touchdowns.
Dover adding another touchdown. So with 3:46 left in their game in the first half, it is now 14-0 for the Green Wave. And in Nashua, don't have a score there yet. Last we heard, that was tied at 6 apiece. And Merrimack is up 12-3. Do you happen to know who Merrimack is playing today? Because they did report that in this latest tweet.
I don't. Anyways,
we'll look that up for you. At least if you're a Merrimack fan, you know they're up.
Central ready to kick it off. That's
a high
Boy,
snap.
He came back and grabbed that. Lucky he got that off. Bedford's doing the bingo, get away from it, and Central's letting it bounce, and it's going to get down to the Bedford 43-yard line, and they're going to take over going from our right to left with 7:14 to go till half and leading 14-0.
Isaiah Jubri was the punter for Central. He's one of their offensive and defensive linemen. I thought he was kind of a big guy back there, but he showed some agility to get that errant
usually
snap.
The big guy can put the boot into it, and he did. He did a nice job. He got it downfield. So Bedford taking over, 7:14 to go in the second quarter. They come out with a 2-receiver set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap. Man in motion, that's Sanchez. Sanchez, handoff to Toscano, comes this way, over tackle, gets into Central territory down to about the 48-yard line.
Just shy of the first.
Almost a 10-yard pickup. It was a nice run.
And Toscano carrying some players with him there. He had a little bit of a hole, but...
Well, it just shows how Bedford's offensive line is dominating the Central defensive line, because those holes are there and Toscano's finding them. 6:51 to go in the second quarter with Bedford in possession into Central territory at the 49-yard line. Toscano quarterback keep, comes right up, falls forward, and that's going to be a first down.
Yeah, Morgan picks that up. He just quick snap
Morgan,
and picks up 2 yards and moves the sticks.
So moves the sticks, and the clock continues with 6:35 to go in the second quarter.
This game is moving right along. It's only about 45 minutes in, and we're halfway through the second quarter. So
Green and Sanchez in the near side, 2 receivers split. They called a timeout. Looks like that was a Bedford timeout. They just used their second timeout. And Harry, what do you see so far? Let's talk about the Central point of view. What does Central have to do to stop Bedford from going down and sticking one in the end zone on this drive?
Well, they have to contain Toscano, and they have to basically take away the sidelines, because that's where they're working the magic. They're getting the power sweeps, they're getting the passes out to the flat. Really not much going over the middle. So whatever they're doing in the middle, that Morgan is not taking his chances there. And the one time he did, he threw the ball over the receiver's head.
And a few misdirection plays, handoff to Toscano. All of a sudden, you got Harry Lagulon going the other way, and that's been positive pickup for Bedford. So they're doing a little misdirection on the Central Little Green, who's trying to key on a guy like Toscano, and why wouldn't you? 6:20 to go in the second quarter. Bedford comes out of their timeout and leading 14-0 with the ball in Central territory. Ball is on the 46-yard line, moving from our right to left. Bedford comes out with a 2-receiver split, 1 to the right, 2 to the left, 2 in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap. Snap comes back, hands off to Lagulon, far side, goes to the 45, gets a block. Comes up to the 40, missed another block. First down, gets into Central territory, into the 30, down to about the 26-yard line. Harry Lagulon, tough bringing that kid down.
I was going to say the first down was achieved by the block from Jack Jones. He was able to plow a path for Lagulon to get to the first down marker, but then the rest of the way, that was all Harry with his power.
So that gets down to the 32-yard line with 6:10 to go in the second quarter. First and 10, Bedford. 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan gets a snap, hands off, no, keeps it this way.
Morgan still has it.
Still has it. Gets brought to about the 29-yard line.
That had the look of a busted play.
It did. It was a little timid after he got it. It's like,
yeah,
now what do I do?
Something went wrong there. I don't know if Toscano was supposed to take the ball, and Toscano thought it was a fake, and Morgan was kind of left in space there, wondering, I got the ball, what am I going to do with it? And he had a Central defender keyed in on him, so he just did what he could, try to get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 8, balls on the 29-yard line. 2 receivers set, 1 to the right, 2 to the left, 2 in the backfield with Morgan. Goulon and Toscano in the backfield. Snap comes back, looks far side. There's a
ball
fumble.
Stripped away.
That's stripped. That was a nice strip. That was number 72 for Central, who stripped that ball.
Looks like Bedford recovered.
And that's going to be, you got that number? Who's 72? Harry for Central.
Number 72 is Justice Brady.
So Brady stripped that ball. Nice strip, and then they couldn't fall on it. Bedford fell on it, but that's a loss. It's going to get it to 3rd and 13.
Yeah, Morgan has to be more aware about the pressure coming from his blind side.
So Bedford with a 2-receiver set, 3 to the left this time, 1 to the right.
But credit to Justice for putting that pressure on. He got around his blocker very well there.
Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap. Snap comes back, fake to Toscano, looks downfield, plenty of time. Far side takes off, fakes it, goes up, and he's brought down to about the 25-yard line.
They're going to be short by about 3 yards.
So it's going to be 4th down and 3.
It looked to me like
little outside Matty Lucatoni's range, and I think they're going to go for it on 4th and 4 from the 25-yard line.
Adam Kinzu was the Central rusher who put the pressure and forced Morgan out, and it looked a little bit like he might have been held. He was trying to get his hand free from the Bedford blocker, but the officials did not throw a flag.
So 2 receivers set to the left, 1 to the right. Lagulon far side tight end. Toscano in the backfield. Handoff to Toscano, cuts, goes upfield, looks like he got the first down. That was a nice run for Toscano.
And that cut is what got the first down. He was able to change direction. Again, he for all his power, he's got tremendous speed and agility. He's able to make a shift like that to freeze the tackler and pick up a first down.
So first down, Ryan Toscano gets the first down. 3:41 to go. Bedford now at the Little Green 20-yard line with a new set of downs. 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Man in motion. This is Lagulon. Handoff to Lagulon, coming near side. Breaks a tackle, cuts up. Boy, the Central little green guy had a chance to wrap him up, and Lagulon just pushed him away like he wasn't even there.
He had a handful of his jersey. He basically just pulled it off his shoulder pad and was able to squirt away from that.
Yeah, strong.
Picked up 5 yards.
You got to wrap that kid up if you're going to bring down Harry Lagulon.
Yeah, I was going to say, you asked me what Central needs to do. They need to wrap up the Bedford players at the initial impact. They're giving up too many yards after they make that impact.
So a little adjustment on Lagulon's padding. The official helped out, and now they're right back at it. 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan comes back, hands off to Toscano on a delay up the middle, and he knocked the official, got in the way, and he got a taste of Toscano right down on his back end.
I would give the credit, the tackle there, to the official, and unfortunately he got in the way of Toscano, who had quite a bit of momentum and might have made it to the end zone there.
So ball is on the 9-yard line now.
At least they picked up the first down.
So with 2:38 and counting, Bedford trying to get the play from the sideline. They come out with their 2 receiver to the left, 1 to the right. Lagulon tight end far side. Toscano in the backfield in motion. Motion man handoff up, turns it up and gets to about the 5-yard line.
That was number 24 again. I don't have a roster number for 24.
So there's a double 24 on the rosters, I believe. Can we get the name?
Bourgeois. Thank you very much.
Yeah, early in the year they had 2 24s, and I knew Bourgeois was usually on the line, D-line, so.
So that's the second time we didn't know who Bourgeois was. Now we know.
2nd and go, 4 yards to go, minute 50. Bedford comes out, hands to Toscano, and he's brought down probably about the 1 or 2 yard line.
Picks up about 2 yards on the play right there.
So that brings it down to the 2-yard line for Bedford with a minute 33 to go. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 for Bedford. Bedford spreads them out. 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan looking over the play, waiting for the snap. Snap comes back. That's a high snap. And Morgan falls on it. So that was almost could have been a disaster, because the Central kid was right there. He could have picked it up and gone like 98 yards for a touchdown.
That was the second high snap on a shotgun, and Morgan was not able to pull it down, but he was able to recover, and that probably just saved 3 points for Bedford, a chance to go up 3 scores, but a real missed opportunity to go up 21-0.
So now this is 4th and 4th and goal from the 10-yard line, and looks like Bedford's running this clock down. It's 41 seconds and counting. This is definitely within Luca Toni's range. It looks like Bedford's going to call their final timeout, and they're going to talk this thing over. So they're either going to go for it or they're going to bring Matty Lucatoni in for a field goal of about 27 yards, I would guess.
I can't see Derek Stank leaving points on the field. 4th and 10 is definitely within the range, I think, of the Bulldogs. I'm sure they probably have some plays for just this type of situation. No. But instead, Lucatoni is heading to the field.
Is heading out. So if
17-0 is, that's 3 scores, and
oh yeah,
you're going into the half with a 3-score lead. You really can't ask for much more than that.
Definitely within the range of Lucatoni. This, I said, this is probably going to be a 27-yard field goal, and they mark this thing out with 37 seconds to go.
Update from Pinkerton-Salem. Pinkerton with a 8-yard touchdown run with 38 seconds left in the first half, and they take a 14-7 lead into halftime against Salem.
So Bedford's lining up for this one. Lucatoni's getting ready. Ready for the snap. Snap comes down, ball is down, kick is up and away, and it is good. Lucatoni with a 27-yard field goal with 32 seconds to go to add to the Bedford lead of 17-0 over the Little Green.
So a heads-up play by Morgan to recover that high snap on the 3rd down play, the shotgun snap that sailed over his head, and pretty much saved 3 points there for the Bulldogs.
3. It was almost a 7. That would have been a total turnaround. That would have been 14-7 if the guy picked it up and went back 98 yards.
You're absolutely right. There was nobody.
Nobody was there,
and they probably depending how fast the guy was, he could have went all the way. So a close call there for Bedford, but also a missed opportunity. How many fumbles have the Bulldogs? I guess the Bulldogs have had 3 fumbles so far. They've only lost 1. And Central, if they're going to make anything happen here, has to take advantage of those opportunities when they're presented.
So here we go. Deep for Central is looks like that's number 5. That's Old Bryce, and Bedford ready to kick this thing off with 32 seconds to go. So ball is away. It is deep. It's got under. Short man takes it. 25-yard line. Little dipsy-do. Reverse, and Bedford sniffed that one out, and they blew the whistle, so that was going nowhere.
Nothing happened there. That was number 2. Dylan Feliciano was the short receiver. He handed it off to number 8.
Talked about this kid Feliciano in the Merrimack game. 4 interceptions. So this guy's got some talent. He's got some skills. Got to keep an eye on these guys.
So what do we do here? Are we going to send everybody down? Looks like all the receivers are out on this play.
Well, when you play prevent defense, it just prevents the defense from letting up touchdowns, but they let up big chunks of yards.
Well, so they still have
let's see what happens.
1 timeout left.
24 seconds to go. Hawcom brings out Central. 2 receiver set. 2 to the right. 1 to the right. 2 to the left. Magnan in the backfield under pressure. Hawcom fires downfield, and that is overthrown, and that was almost picked off.
Yeah, that was intended for number 1, Miguel Genesee, over his head, but a little short for Bedford to intercept there. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 with 19 seconds to go.
Took about 5 seconds off the clock. So Central's going to try and push this thing downfield. So I think they're probably going to. One thing you don't want to do is give up a bunch of yards to Hawcom, because if there's an opening, he's going to tuck it and run.
Stay tuned at halftime. We're going to have the Bedford High Band performing.
Always a pleasure. Do a great job.
A lot of people come to football games just for the band.
19 seconds to go. 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers set. 3 to the left, 1 to the right for Central. Hawcom with Manana in the backfield. Hawcom back, hands to Manana, cuts this way, gets to the 25, trying to get out of bounds, and he does about the 30-yard line.
Picks up the first down there.
Clock stops. 13 seconds to go. So, again, you'll give them 10-yard whacks at a time, as long as, at the end, you got goose eggs up on the time up there. So
the spot is actually just short of the 30-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and 2, but just 13.7 seconds to play.
So third down, obviously this is 2-down territory for Central. 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Manana in the backfield with Hockham. Hockham waiting for the snap. Snap comes back, looking downfield, fires downfield, and it is incomplete. No flag. The receiver's looking for a flag.
Yeah,
Genesee not going to get it.
Said that he got interfered with, but really he ran into the Bedford defenders there, so no foul on the play. But here we go with it'll be 4th down with 7 seconds to go. So here's another opportunity for Bedford, maybe a punt return or.
Well, it would have to be because I'm sure with that much time after they punt it away, it's probably going to get us to halftime.
Unless they take a fair catch, that would that would give them an opportunity for a Hail Mary.
They won't take a knee. They're going to get this thing away.
Blocking attempt
blocked. So Bedford's going to stay away from it. It's going to take a Central Little Green bounce, and the clock has run out at halftime here at Bedford Bulldog Stadium. The Bedford Bulldogs 17, the Central Little Green 0.
Bedford is going to kick off to start this half, so Central will have the ball first. And Bobotis is setting up the tee as we speak. We know Harry's been updating you. We want to reiterate the girls volleyball team going 5-1, 6-1 with a three-game to zip win over Concord High School up in Concord. So that was a good win for the girls volleyball team. They're rolling right along with only 1 loss this year to the powerhouse Hollis Brookline. So and varsity soccer, Bedford with a 5-0 win up in Concord. The JV. Able to play to a 1-1 draw. There's the kick. It looks like a short kick to an empty spot, and Bedford recovers it.
Bedford recovers it. They kicked it into an empty spot, and Central could not cover, and Bedford takes over on a little pooch kick with 11:57 to go in Central territory. That was a real mental error on the part of the Little Green. They just, I guess they were just waiting for the ball to roll out of bounds, and in the meantime, one of the Bedford players that didn't catch the number just came in like a rocket and picked up the ball, and now Bedford, instead of kicking off the Central, now have it on the Central 30-yard line. That's a huge mental error there by the Little Green. Coach Ryan can't be happy. So here we go. Morgan brings them out. 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Toscano in the backfield. Morgan straight back. Got the rush. Throw downfield, hit as he throws, and just misses the outstretched arm of, that's number 17, and that's Donahue. So Morgan was under pressure there, so he might have kind of thrown the ball a little sooner than he wanted to, and unfortunately Donahue wasn't able to catch up to it. So Bedford with the ball, 2nd and 10, 11:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. With Bedford leading 17-0. Toscano brings them out. Morgan brings them out with Toscano in the backfield. In motion here is Mumpini. Handoff to Mumpini. Turns up. Big hole. Got the seam. Inside. And he's gone. That's going to be a touchdown by Mumpini. 30-yard touchdown scamper by Mumpini. Nice run. Handoff in motion. Cuts it upfield. Big hole. Touchdown. And the blockers blew open a huge hole right in the middle as Mumpini came in what looked like was supposed to be a sweep. Instead, just goes right up the middle and puts Bedford up by 23 and hopefully 24 here as soon as Lucantoni completes the extra point. Snap down, ball is up, kick is good with plenty of leg. So Lucantoni adds the extra point with Bedford leading 24-0 with a pretty interesting kickoff. They were kicking off to Central. They kicked it into a zone not covered. They picked it up. 2 plays later, you got Mumpini 30 yards out into pay dirt to go up 23-0. Lucatoni adds a score 24-0. That really was a big blunder there on the part of Central, not covering up that ball, not being ready for the pooch kick, and B, not rushing to cover it, letting the Bedford player come in and take it up and turn that into 7 points. So we have Bedford ready to kick this thing off for the 2nd time to the Little Green. Just 16 seconds in, they got another 7 points on the board. So do you think Bedford's going to reach into their bag of tricks and do it again?
Well, there's a big gap between the front line and the second row of receivers. Let's see what happens here. Nope.
Bedford kicks it off kind of deep. That looks like, is that Olbrice back there turning in the middle, gets a couple blocks, and Bedford brought down to about the 30-yard line. So we got one of Bedford's finest here in the booth with us. Just made an announcement on some cars that are going to be towed if they don't move. But always good to see the local police at the football games maintaining it, which is a pretty big crowd out there. So they got a
the stands are full. We've got another terrific crowd here.
A lot of duty, but it's always good to see Bedford's finest here at the football stadium. So Central comes out with 11:30 to go. Their their first possession of the second half. Holcomb in the backfield with Manana. 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Hockham fumbles the ball, and it looks like who's on it. It's close.
Looks like the running back for Central covered it up.
Manana stepped on it, so.
But they wound up losing about 4 yards on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 14 here.
Hockham with the fumble. That was almost a big turnover for Bedford, and that would have been huge in Central territory. But Central comes up with the ball. They're 2nd down and 13. Ball's on the 26-yard line, going from our left to right. Central comes out with their spread offense. 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, with Manana in the backfield with Hockham. Hockham waiting for the snap. Snap comes back. Hockham drops back, looks downfield, fires this side, and that is immediately broken up. And that's going to be a flag. They're going to get a penalty on the Bedford receiver. That was going off to Feliciano. And it looked like, I thought he got there at the same time the ball did, but the official didn't agree with me, and they threw the flag.
Yeah, it really looked like a good play by the defender.
We got the
replay here.
We got a little delay. We don't have the replay on TV, but Harry has the luxury of watching the delay here. We're going to be able to take a look at it.
But Feliciano had that ball on his hand. You said that he had the big 4 interception game. He hasn't had any receptions today. He's had the ball hit him in the hands a couple times now, and he hasn't been able to pull it in. Here we go. We get a look at it here. Nice. Hockham was able to step out. Okay, there was a little contact there.
We saw a little, but it's going to be enough for a first down.
That looked like Mumpete. No, I'm sorry, number 6. That's Sanchez.
Yeah.
He kind of drove into the back of the.
I thought the timing was pretty close, but that's why I'm up here and the officials are down there, Harry. So Central comes out first down on that penalty on their 41-yard line. 2 receivers set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Manana in the backfield with Hockham. Hockham waiting for the snap. Ball comes back. Hockham goes back to pass, sets up a screen, and overthrows it. Incomplete. Trying to hit Manana with a little screen in the backfield.
Yeah, he overthrew him. They let the play develop. Anytime you see the rushers come in unabated, they're setting up the screen, and he had to kind of float him over, but he floated a little too high, and it hit the blocker right in the back instead of his receiver in the hands.
So that stops the clock with 10:48 to go in the third quarter, with Bedford over Central 24-0 here at Bedford Bulldog Stadium. Central with possession on their own 40, going from our left to right. 2 receiver set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Manana in the backfield for Hockham. Hockham waiting for the snap. Snap is back.
Looks like a blitz is on.
Falls back. He's under a lot of pressure. 3 Bulldogs after him, going far side. He's brought down by, looks like, is that Twite?
Number 55,
Twite
yes.
Brings him down, drags him down. A lot of speed on Twite. Picked up a streaking Hockham, who's got some wheels himself, and Twite, big tackle and a loss for Central. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 18. Balls on the 32-yard line.
It's easy for us up here to say that Hockham should have thought about throwing it away instead of running for his life, but he had the opportunity to just float the ball out of bounds, and maybe next time he would do that before the pressure gets on him too closely.
Well, an athlete like that always thinks he can break the tackle, outrun the competition, but not when you got Twite on the heels. So here we go. 3 receiver set, 3 to the left, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Hockham back to pass. Hockham with plenty of time. Now he's under pressure. Now he scrambles this way, and Bedford's chasing him. He fires downfield. A wide open person. He caught it and fell down. Not quite at the first down marker. So that's going to bring up a fourth down. That was a 17-yard completion
on the catch. And, you know, he
Fourth and one.
had Old Bryce wide open. And really, if he had put more on the ball, Old Bryce could have gained a lot more yards and maybe even reached the end zone there. I'm not sure who was behind him. But Old Bryce had to come back. And in high school, once you hit the ground, even if you haven't been touched, it's the ball is down. So by the act of coming back for the ball cost him the first down.
Munyana. Okay, just got a correction on, we're calling him Munyana. It's Munyana. We'll try and make that correction. Thanks to Bob Thomas bringing that in from the sidelines. Now, looks like we got to delay a game on Central, and that's going to hurt because that was 4th and 1. Now it's 4th and 5.
So the mistakes just keep piling up. First, the failure to cover the kickoff, the short pass that cost the first down, and now a delay of game is going to move the ball back 5 yards. So instead of 4th and 1, it's going to be 4th and 6. Although I imagine that Coach Ryan's still going to go for it here. I mean, he's down 3 scores, 3 touchdowns, and 3 2-point conversions. What else has he got to lose here?
Well, he's always been a gambler. I've known Ryan Ray for 13 years, and you know, when an opportunity is down by 24, he's definitely going to go for it, which it looks like he is here. 2 receiver set, 3 to the right, 2 to the left, empty backfield for Hockham. Hockham back, looks downfield, fires and incomplete, so that's going to be turnover on downs. Bedford's going to take that ball over on the 45-yard line of Central.
Kevin Upton was the intended receiver, and he had Bulldogs all around him. And hard to tell from our angle how close that pass was to him, but he didn't really make an attempt to make the catch there. So instead of a first down, it's going to be turnover on downs. The Bulldogs 1st and 10 on the Central 45-yard line.
So Bedford taking over on the 45 of Central, as Harry just said, with 8:58 to go in the third quarter. Bedford comes out with the 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap. Snap comes back to pass, fires downfield. That was almost intercepted. That was in and out of the hands of Harry Lagulon.
And Lagulon, such a sure receiver.
Harry wants that one back, that's for sure. He was wide open.
That was just bouncing around like a hot potato in his hands. He couldn't quite wrap it up. And it's a shame because that was easily another 20, 25, 30-yard gain there if he could have pulled that in.
Yeah, for sure. He had room in front of him, too. So incomplete, stops the clock with 8:53 to go with Bedford leading 24-0 over visiting Manchester Central. So Bedford comes out, 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap. Ball comes back, fires this way to Lagulon, caught 45-40, and then gets to about the 37-yard line before he's forced out and stops the clock. So Lagulon makes up for that last drop, last play.
Yeah. Smart move there by Coach Stank. I assume he called that play to give Lagulon another chance to make up for that drop, and he didn't disappoint that time.
So Bedford 3rd and 1 on the 37. 2 receiver set, 2 to the right, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Morgan on the backfield with Toscano. Handoff to Toscano, and he's met. But I think Central may have pulled him forward. I'm not sure he got it.
No, it still looks short. I was going to say that he was wrapped up a good 2 yards behind the first down marker, and then he just kind of fell forward, tried to power his way forward, but it's about a half a yard short here, so Bedford's ready to go for it.
So Morgan's going to come up to the line. Look at Central's. They know what Morgan's going to do. Central's right at the line himself. So
will they change the play here and do a sweep instead?
Or a hard count. You just never know. So Morgan waiting for the snap. And that's what they're doing. They're waiting for, they're probably going to call a timeout here. Morgan gets it, goes forward, and he fell forward. He's going to get it. Boy, the entire Central defense was up on the line, and Morgan was still able to fall forward for the first down.
Well, he had a little help there with Ryan Toscano, who came up from behind and gave him that extra push.
Which, if you had an official that wanted to call it, that's illegal to do that. You can't assist the guy from behind.
Well, he definitely did that.
Happens all the time, but, I mean, if we were at Gill Stadium, that flag might have come out, but we'll get the first down, 8:02 to go. Bedford into Central territory on the 34-yard line. This time a 3 receiver set to the right, 1 to the left. Toscano in the backfield, Morgan straight back. Morgan under pressure. Good protection, still under pressure, fires the ball down. And he threw it downfield, and We do have a flag in the backfield. Looks like
That
it was
might have been a hold,
on
yeah.
Bedford. But
That was quite the stick applied there by Albright, I believe, on Toscano. The pass was intended for Toscano. He couldn't hold on to it because Albright just tattooed him as soon as the ball came to him.
Yeah, that was a shot and a half. Toscano's a tough kid. He's up. He's fine.
Not surprised by the holding call there. That was, Morgan had to improvise back there. His blocking was breaking down, and he did a good job avoiding the rush.
Well, when he had all that time, something had to give, and it turns out the yellow flag came off a holding. But anyway, 2nd down and 23 on the Central 48-yard line. Bedford now with a 2-receiver set, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan back, plenty of protection, still plenty of protection. Fires downfield, and that is in and out of the hands of Donahue. That would have been enough, not enough for a first down, but that's going to bring up looks like a 3rd down and 23.
Yeah, that hit him right in the hands. Wouldn't have been a first down, but it would have picked up a nice chunk of yardage.
Yeah, a bunch of yards would have got him closer, but here we are. It is 3rd and 23 with 7:35 to go. Clock is stopped. 2 receiver set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan drops back, little delay, hands it to Toscano over the 50 to the 45 to the 40, and then finally dragged down by a couple of Central players. So
little cross-up play there.
Little delay draw for Toscano, and picked up a bunch of yards, but not enough.
So the question here is, will Bedford punt it away? They have a 4th and 15, and it's a long way to go, but I think they feel pretty confident up 24-0.
I think what you're going to see here is a lot of times you'll have Morgan drop back, take the snap, and then kick it and punt it down.
Yeah, he did that last week, actually.
And pin Central deep. I wouldn't be surprised. No one's back deep for Central. This is a play that's been in the playbook of Bedford for years. 2 receivers set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Morgan drops back. No, he is going to pass under a lot of pressure, and he's going to go down.
Oh.
Yeah, that wasn't...
That was a surprise.
I'm not sure that's the play I would have run, but that's the play Coach Stank ran, and it didn't work for Bedford. So on downs, Bedford turns the ball over, and Central's going to take over on their own 47-yard line.
Yeah, that sack gave up 7 yards to the good for Central. So now they've got an excellent drive start at their own 47-yard line. And let's see if they can get on the scoreboard here with 6:17 left in the 3rd quarter. And we have a timeout called, and an indication, looks like an official timeout. Oh, Bedford.
Bedford calls the timeout.
So that's their second timeout of the half. They only have one left after.
6 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Bedford leading 24-0 over the visiting Central Little Green of Manchester, New Hampshire. And, second half started out well for Bedford. They had a little pooch kick into the zone that Central wasn't. They recovered. And Mumpini on a 30-yard run with 11:44 to go, and only 16 seconds in the second half before they scored to go up 23. Mumpini adds the extra point, puts it up 24-0.
Or Lucatoni did. Anyway, an update from Nashua. Field goal by North. They take the lead, 15-14 there. That's quite the battle.
All right, so looks like Bedford's going to get a chance to kick this away again. I'm not sure what happened there, Harry. Maybe was that a 3rd down? Looks like now it's 4th and 21.
No, was it?
Well,
maybe the scoreboard said 4th and 15, so we're not sure what happened there.
I'm a little confused, but Bedford is punting away. And Bedford back the punt. Nice punt, deep. Central's getting away from it, takes a Bedford bounce, gets down. That's going to be about the 5-6 yard line, where a beautiful pinning punt puts Central back on looks like the 6 yard line. Yeah, Central's going to take over.
Albright was the man back, and it bounced right in front of him, but he had 2 Bedford players right on top of him, and he decided not to try to make a play for it.
So it's 6:02 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Central taking over. And down 24-0. Let's see what Central can do.
Quick halftime score here from Alvern down in Hudson. The Broncos lead the Sanborn Indians 36-14 at the half.
Was that the Broncos leading, you said?
Yes. Alvern is up.
Elvern. Boy, they've had a tough couple of years. I've been watching them. And so good for the Broncos of Elvern. So 6:02 to go. Here comes Hockham is going to bring out the empty backfield, and they're going to split out 2 to the left, 2 to the right. They're going to try to get this thing downfield. Snap is back. Hockham's back. Looks far side. Fires. That was almost picked off. That was almost to the house. Toscano,
yeah.
In and out of his hands. That would have been 6. Incomplete.
That was a quick pass to the flat by Hockham, but Toscano sniffed it out and got in front of the pass. Almost pulled it in for pick 6.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Ball is marked on the 7-yard line with 5:58 to go. That stopped the clock. Central comes out with the same formation. This time they have 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Empty backfield for Hockham. Hockham waiting for the snap. Snap comes back. Hockham looks downfield. This is a run all the way, and they tried to fake out Bedford, and 3 guys brought him down. He got nowhere. It was a late Bedford player that came in. That could have drawn a flag, and it didn't.
Kind of gave a late shot there. Bourgeois on the tackle, along with
nice tackle.
Andrew Twite.
So
they met him right there. They were fooled.
Twite and Bourgeois were not fooled, and I'm sure that was drilled into these kids this week by Coach Stank. How to contain a kid like Hockham, and that's what they did. They stayed home until Hockham committed, and he committed right away, right after the snap. He was down. You knew he was running. Those guys stayed home, made a great play. So Twite and Bourgeois stop. 3rd and 12. Ball's on the 5-yard line.
We're taking a little time here. I don't know if we have an official timeout. Somebody's out. Is that Coach Ryan?
Ryan Ray's on the field, so Central must have called a timeout because he doesn't come that far out. He does try to venture onto the field.
I wonder if he's talking to him about that late hit.
Yeah, I would have you definitely bring it to the officials' attention because that was a late hit coming in, and Bedford dodged that one. But, what I do is give the official a subtle little, hey, look for that next time.
Right.
And if Bedford were to come in and do it again, they will get the flag, even though you're at,
I'll give
Stadium.
the official a break here because the angle of that hit, an official might not have been in position to see it like we are from above here.
So 95 yards to go for Central. They're on their own 5-yard line. 3rd down and 12 with 5:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Looks like Muñana in the backfield. Hockham, high snap, and that he just barely got out of the his own end zone. He was
read that all the way.
Back, and, nice tackle.
And he was lucky to get out of his own end zone there. Winds up losing 4 yards.
So here we go. It's 4th and 14. Ball's on the 2-yard line. Now the Central punter has to be careful. This has to be a good snap. He's got to bring it in and then boot it out. He steps in that end zone. We're going to get a safety.
That's Isaiah Jubry back there, number 75, waiting for the kick. He's right on the end line.
So
one false step, like you said, it's going to be 2 points for Bedford.
So Central's going to be punting away. Ball's back, kicks away. Nice clean kick. And it looks like the Bedford kid's going to let it just bounce. And
Mumpini just lets it roll down to the 39-yard line, but it'll be in Central territory. They'll have a drive start. With 4:47 left to play, the Bulldogs up 24-0 here in the 3rd quarter. So
Bedford, what do we say that's going to be, Harry, the 38-yard line?
38.
So Bedford leading 24-0, 4:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bedford in Central territory. Bedford comes out to receive a set. Looks like we got 2 to the left, 1 to the right, 2 in the backfield with Morgan. Magulon, tight end position. Morgan waiting for the snap. Snap comes back, hands to Lagulon, far side, 40, cuts up 35. No, can't bring him down 30. Still can't bring him down.
Still going. Oh, and fumbled
the ball. Now
fumbled the ball forward to Toscano.
And he goes pay dirt for the touchdown. Wow, that was a great play. So it started out with Lagulon in the backfield. He cuts, he gets down 25 yards, fumbles the ball. Toscano picks it up, goes into the end zone for the score.
Now the officials, if they had the benefit of replay, might want to look at that exchange between Lagulon and Toscano. You could almost call it a forward lateral, the way the ball came out of his hands. It looked like Toscano it kind of took it out of his hands. Let's see what happens here on the replay. Luke Antoni gets on the field for the extra point.
So
okay, the ball actually did hit the ground.
So in baseball, that's like a 4-6-3 double play. How do you score that in this now? Because Lagulon started it, fumbles it, Toscano picks it up, and goes the last 12 yards for the touchdown. Either way, it's a score for Bedford. And with the extra point, Bedford now leads 31-0 over the visiting Central Little Green.
The pit just keeps getting deeper and deeper for Central there. Again, another fumble. They weren't able to capitalize on it. Instead, Toscano was in the right place to pick up the ball. But I got to tell you, if I'm Coach Ryan, I might have a word with the officials and say, hey, did that look like a forward lateral to you? Because the ball kind of bounced up in the air. You can't say for sure whether Lagulon lost control of the ball or if he flipped the ball up.
Oh, he definitely lost control of the ball. There's no question. If
I'm Coach Ryan, I'm arguing that it was a forward lateral.
It's a forward lateral, yeah.
It's all in the eye of the beholder. So Ryan would definitely call it that way, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would too if I was Ryan Ray. So anyway, Central's back to receive the kickoff. Bedford does a little short kick this time.
That's Bobotis.
And that's on the ground.
That hit takes a funny bounce, and number one, Miguel Genesee, has to fall right on it at the 25-yard line.
So Central takes over on their own 25-yard line, trailing 31-0.
They seem to be a little unprepared for these short kickoffs.
Yeah. Well, it worked once for Bedford, and they got the ball over. That came close to working again as a turnover. So something for the Little Green to work on. Bedford's pulling out all their bags of tricks today, leading 31-0 with 4:32 to go in the third quarter. So Hockham brings Central out. 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Muñana in the backfield with Hockham. Hands off to Muñana, right up the middle. Nice hole. Gets about, still can't bring him down. Gets close to the first down yardage.
Yeah, just shy of the 35-yard line.
That's maybe 9 yards. Nice pickup by number 8, Muñana for Central. Green with the tackle.
So remind me, the Goffstown game, Goffstown got their touchdown in the first quarter, right? So that's 3 periods, 7. We have gone 10 quarters now with Bedford without giving up a point. The Bedford defense.
Yeah, good point, Harry. Harry with the stats. Harry Kozlowski with the stats. 3:56 and counting. Central, 1 yard to go. Low snap. Hockham far side fires and incomplete. Boy, he picked that one off the ground. That was 2nd and 1. Now this is going to be 3rd and 1. Ball's on the 34-yard line.
Yeah, that pass was intended for number 23, Travell Randolph. Couldn't really, the ball was just out of his reach. It wasn't a very good throw by Hockham there.
Well, he had to get down to his ankle and pick it up, and then fired to the far side. Didn't have a lot of time to throw because he was under a lot of pressure. 3rd and 1. Clock stopped on that incomplete. 3:46 to go. Central moving from our left to right. Ball is on their own 34-yard line. 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Muñana in the backfield. Handoff to Muñana, immediately brought down. He didn't get
Brick
close
wall,
to that first
nothing.
down. So this is going to be fourth down in about 1. And it looks like the punt team's coming out, so Central's going to punt it away. So Bedford's going to get the ball back. Still plenty of time left in this game. As a matter of fact, 1 more score, Harry, and this is going to be a running clock again.
Good point. Just like last week.
Last week and the week before and the week before that. The week before that, they've had a lot of lopsided victories. I'm surprised it's 30. They're up 31 in Central, though.
Going into the season, it was I had a lot of questions about just how strong this team's going to be, but it looks like, there's a fumble.
That was a fair catch on Montpini, and everyone's scrambling. It looks like Central may have got the ball. They did. So Montpini went for the fair catch, bounced off his chest, big scramble on the ground. Central picks it up. Looks like they're going to get it on the 30-yard line of Bedford on that miscue by Montpini. 31-yard line.
Huge break there for Central. They finally capitalized on what I believe is the 5th Bedford fumble. This is only the 2nd one that they've lost possession of. But 5 times the ball's kind of gotten away from the Bulldogs, and this time on the punt, Montpini muffing the fair catch. And Central's able to get a new set of downs here in Bedford territory on the 31-yard line.
So here we have now 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Hockham in the backfield, back to pass, look downfield, plenty of protection now, scrambling this way, fires downfield, and that is intercepted. That's Mumpini stepped in front of that one. Hockham tried to be a little cutesy with that and try and thread the needle, but Mumpini stepped right up and picked that one off. So turnover Bedford, turnover Central. Bedford gets the ball right back.
And Mumpini makes up for the muffed punt there by getting the turnover.
That's a good point, Harry.
So it gets back on the good side of Coach Stank.
Yeah. He's not going to forget about it, but he's going to forgive him a little.
Hockham really had a lot of time, but couldn't find a receiver. He had to move around the pocket trying to find the open receiver. Like you said, he kind of made a ill-advised throw there into traffic and paid for it, giving the ball right back to the Bulldogs.
2 receiver set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left for Morgan with Toscano in the backfield. Morgan waiting for the snap, comes back, hands off to Toscano, and Toscano in the line pushes it up about 2 yards.
Actually, I believe it's number 33. That is Jack Grogan on the carry.
Oh, Grogan's in. Okay, thanks, Harry, for
giving Toscano a little break here.
Yep. Grogan had a good game. As I looked at the stats from last week, I think Grogan had a pretty good game. Had some positive yards against Memorial. So you'll see Grogan give Toscano a break, and this is his chance with 2:22 to go. Bedford up 31-0. Morgan fires off to the flat, and that's incomplete. So that's going to.
They're going to call that incomplete. That wasn't. That was really on the line. I guess a horizontal pass is still considered a forward pass. Speaking of Grogan, he had 6 carries last week for 47 yards, no touchdowns against Memorial.
So 2 minutes, 15 seconds ago in the third quarter. It's going to be a 3rd and 8 from their Bedford 35-yard line, moving from our right to left. 2 receiver set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left for Bedford. Grogan in the backfield with Toscano. Toscano back again.
Same play.
Fires, same play, far side. That's Mumpini. Comes upfield. Big gain. First down into Central Territory. Maybe it's right on the 50-yard line, but that was a huge play by Mumpini. Same play that didn't work last time. And
if it first doesn't succeed, try again. And they did right there, and this time it worked to perfection.
So 2:09 to go in the third quarter. Bedford comes out this time with their 2 receiver set. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Harry, tight end. Near side, 2 running back. This is hands off. Now this is Harry in the backfield. Gets 10 yards upfield. So
gets
that
11 on the play. Gets the first down. All the way down to the 39.
Moves the sticks. So Central just does not have an answer to this Bedford potent offense, and they're just moving the ball at will up and down the field against the Little Green.
Got an update from Dover and Spalding. The Green Wave up 26-14 with about 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
2 backs in the backfield with Morgan. Split between the quarterback this time. It's going to hand off to Grogan coming this side.
Nice run.
Break safe. Gets down to the 20. Again, takes 2 Little Green to bring down Grogan. That was a nice run.
And Grogan using his inertia, his momentum, to carry 2 Central tacklers with him. Gained at least another 10 yards there with Little Green defenders on his back.
So Grogan takes a break, and Toscano's back in here, and now they're at the Central 19-yard line, 1st and 10, minute 24 to go in the third quarter. Bedford with the ball moving from our right to left. 2 receiver set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2 in the backfield, Toscano and Lagulon. Hands off to Lagulon, cuts up, and he gets a couple of yards, pushing that momentum forward.
Picks up 5 right there.
1:03 to go in the third quarter. Bedford up 31-0, looking to add more. Central makes a shift to some players. Bedford comes out with their spread offense. This time, 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Toscano in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan waiting for the snap. This is Mumpini. Hands off to Mumpini, far side. Goes, cuts back, spins. Tries to get a few more yards. He's pretty close to that first down marker.
Looks like he's going to be about 2 or 3 yards short. He tried the cut, but the hole closed up as soon as he made the cut, and he got wrapped up, had nowhere to go.
And unless Bedford runs a really quick play, this is going to end the third quarter. And I think Bedford's just going to wait and let this thing run out and switch the ends of the field. So this 3rd and 4. The ball is on the 13-yard line.
5 seconds,
Under
3,
5 seconds.
2, and they're going to let it go.
They're going to let it go. So that's going to end the 3rd quarter, in Bedford with a commanding 31-0 lead over the Manchester Central Little Green, visiting here at Bedford Bulldog Stadium. Little surprised at this score, Harry. I'm not surprised Bedford put 31. I'm surprised that Central's not answering with their potent offense and putting some points on the board.
Yeah, the predictions in today's Union Leader had a much closer game.
I think it was a 7 or a 10-point game.
Right.
It wasn't that many, but once again, the Union Leader is
Roger
wrong.
Brown, who's actually here covering the game.
Yeah,
had to pick that as a much closer contest.
Yeah, and he had a close contest for last week, Pinkerton Londonderry, and that turned out to be a blowout. Pinkerton went into Londonderry and took care of business. So it's always tough. Listen, if we all could get those scores right, we'd be in Las Vegas, right?
Right. But yeah, miscues on both sides again. But the Bedford miscues they were able to recover from. They're able to recover. Like I said, they lost control of the ball 5 times. Only lost it twice, but on the last one where Mumpini had the muff on the fair catch, he comes right back and takes it away on an interception on the very next play. So Bedford is correcting their mistakes while Central just lets them compound.
So we're gonna start the 4th quarter here with Bedford again threatening to put more points on the board, and if they do, then we're gonna go into running time here,
right?
Harry. So 4th quarter is about to start with Bedford leading 31-0.
So 3rd and 4 here.
3rd and 4, 2 receivers set, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Morgan comes up under center, pitches back, Toscano far side, cuts it up, and I think he gets a first down. So
gets it with a yard to spare.
We're going to get inside the 10-yard line. Looks like we're going to get down to about the 9, I want to say, for that first down for Bedford.
That was a quick pitch to the left for Toscano. He had a full head of steam when he hit the line of scrimmage and bowled his way for 5 yards.
So 1st and goal on the 9-yard line. 4th quarter just started here. We're going to come out with a 3-receiver set to the left. Green, Mumpini, Lagulon to the left, Toscano in the backfield, Donahue to the right. Handoff to, Morgan takes it, tries to cut upfield, avoids a block, and gets down to almost the goal line. So that was a nice 8-yard pickup by Morgan.
Down to the 1. Once again, that was the same play that they scored on in the very first drive. The fake to Toscano and the sweep by Morgan to the right. And like I said, the Central players were able to drag him down at the 1-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1.
So Morgan brings him out. Toscano in the backfield. 2 receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Morgan waiting the snap. Fakes it. Goes upfield. Touchdown. Tommy Morgan, 1-yard touchdown run. That
was another tricky snap there on the shotgun. And we have a flag on the play. I wonder if we've got an unsportsmanlike on Central thrown after the play.
I didn't see that. Is that what you saw, Harry?
Yeah. But like I said, a tricky snap that Morgan corralled and might have helped sell the fake there. Kind of caught Central off guard. He had a clear lane to the end zone, and it's now 37-0 with 10:47 left in the 4th quarter.
I know Bedford thinks it's against Central because Luca Tony's out there to kick the extra point. So
where the flag came, it came from the backfield behind the line of scrimmage.
It might have been after the play.
Yeah, it was definitely after the play. Look, it was an unsportsmanlike on Central.
Yeah.
I think a lot of frustrations starting to build up there on the Little Green getting routed here in Bedford, and they probably said something or took a shot at somebody out of frustration.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you never want to see that, but you can understand it. I know drives coaches crazy because that's a discipline issue, and you never want to see that break down.
They're going to probably mark that off on the kickoff. So after the extra point here, Luca Toni is ready to kick it away. And Ethan Van Heerden is her holder on the play.
Snap down, ball is up,
perfect.
Plenty of leg. That ball is good. So Luca Toni adds one, 38-0, 10:47 to go. The good news is Running time, Harry.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to get out of here
8:54.
a little earlier because
clock
of
on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this game's moving along pretty quickly, and it's going to move along even quicker now.
Kind of like that rule the NHIA put in. It's sort of like a mercy rule. It's like a 10-run rule in baseball. I like making baseball references because Bill Jennings here is in the booth. Longtime NHIAA baseball official for the NHBUA here in New Hampshire. And Billy, they like Billy because he had a strike zone the size of the Pacific Ocean. So they.
Yeah, Bill wanted to get out fast. So the kickoff is going to be coming from Central's territory. They'll be on their 45-yard line with that 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct added on the kickoff here. 38-0.
So here we go. Yeah, it's also we like seeing the running time because once you get to this point, it can be kind of monotonous. High score. You're going to see a lot of possibly some JV players, and you just never know. Anyways, Bedford ready to kick off.
Babotis with the kick, and he's going to drive it into the end zone. Trying to check the old Twitter here to get some more scores. Haven't seen any updates. So nothing new to report in the world of Division I high school football.
What was the last Pinkerton score? Pinkerton-Salem you had?
It was 15-14 Salem up in the third quarter.
Really?
Yeah, they tied the game. They thought, they scored a touchdown, but instead of going for one, they went for two.
Yeah, never count Salem out. That's always a gutsy football program. So
Merrimack is up by a 12-3 score against BG.
Not surprised at that. I know BG's in a rebuilding year. You got John Trisciani down there trying to put a program together, which he will do. He'll do a good job. Okay, so Hockham comes out with a two-receiver set to the right, one to the left. Going to be a handoff coming this way, and Bedford reads it beautifully, and I don't even think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Jalen Burris on the carry there for Central.
So 10:33 and counting to go in the game. Bedford with a 38-0 lead over the Central Little Green here at Bedford Bulldog Stadium. Central with the football on their 20-yard line, so that's second. There's a no gain on that one. So
we're in the 11th quarter now for the Bedford defense, not giving up any points.
And we have a two-receiver set. No, Hockham is not in this game. We got number 3 under center now for Central. You got a name? That ball was battered down.
That was blocked.
Who's the new quarterback for Central?
That is Joshua Jerome.
Jerome?
Yes. He's a sophomore.
So Joshua Jerome now is running the Central Little Green. Ryan Ray's seen enough, and looks like he's putting in the JVs, and I'm sure Bedford's going to respond as well. You're going to see some players come in that normally don't get playing time. It looks like that's what's happening out there. So Jerome's taking over the offense for the Little Green. 9:30 and counting. The clock is running. I formation in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Central. Jerome under center.
Could have been a false start there.
And boy, he got. I'm telling you, the Bedford Bulldogs were in the backfield before Jerome could get the ball back. So
Grogan with the sack there, loss of 6 yards on the play, and like I said, they could have called a false start there. The tackle for Central on the left side moved just a hair before the snap.
Well, I think the officials keep the flags in their pocket when one team's up 38 points. And I think that's what you're going to see. It's now 3rd and 10, and we're going to see whose JV program is better out there, Bedford or Central. But in that play, Bedford's dominating still. 8:42
Actually, it is 4th down, and the punter is out there.
Okay. So he's punting away. Ball goes deep.
Kind of a line drive over the head of Axton. He goes back, picks it up on the hop.
He's on the far sideline, gets up to about, he comes into Central territory, gets to about the 47, 46-yard line.
Yeah, that was kind of a gutsy play on Axton's part. He's running toward the ball. He's running away from the punt, picks it up on the fly, shakes off one tackler, is able to do a 180 up the sideline and turn what could have been a big fallback in field position. He turns it into a positive play.
So let's see who's out there for Bedford in the quarterback. And last time it was Scalling out there. Let's see if he's running.
He is, number 10.
He is, yeah. So Bedford comes out with their spread offense. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Scalling waiting for the snap. Hands off up the middle. That's Grogan. And Grogan falls forward for about a 4-yard gain.
Scalling had a nice game last week. 5 of 6 for 36 yards. No touchdowns, though.
Nice.
But he showed some accuracy.
So Grogan in the backfield with Scalling. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ready for the snap. Man in motion. Handoff coming this way. That's number 21,
that's
40,
Axton.
35, 30, 25. Brought down to about the 22-yard line.
So Michael Axton there with the carry. Almost a 20-yard gain there.
So looks like our JV team is doing better than the Central JV team so far.
Update from Nashua with 1:52 left in that game. North storms back with a touchdown, a 43-yard run by Isaac Smith, and they lead 21-14.
Scalling gets a snap, hands to Grogan. Grogan right up the middle, 15, 14, gets inside, close to the 10-yard line.
So almost a first down there too.
So
Grogan with the carry.
So looking for the play from the sideline with 6:18 to go.
And a fresh set of downs on the 13-yard line, 1st and 10.
So Grogan in the backfield with Scalling. 2 receivers set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Scalling waiting for the snap, gives it Grogan far side, turns upfield. Gets continuing close to the goal line, gets to about the 1-yard line. Grogan with a nice pickup of 12 yards.
Yeah, he's able to turn the corner there. They were able to seal off the line, and Grogan took advantage of that, getting a nice carry there.
So
1st and goal at the 1.
1st and goal at the 1, 5:35 to go, and counting. The clock is moving. Bedford ready to punch another one in here at Bedford High School, leading 38-0. Scalling waiting for the snap. Scalling keeps it, cuts up field, and he's met at the touchdown. He did get over. So Scalling with the quarterback keep, fake to Grogan, goes left-hand side and goes in for the score.
That was a mirror image of what Toscano and Morgan were doing. Instead of going to the right side, it was to the left.
Yeah.
The fake to Grogan, and then Scalling kind of took a circuitous route to the end zone, and all he had to do was break the play, and he didn't have. He met a defender right on the goal line, but managed to get the points.
So
Luca Toni on the extra point, and perfect once again. And with 5:13 remaining, 45-0. The Bulldogs in the lead.
So it's interesting, Harry. You pretty much got the JV programs out there now, and now Monday night is when the JVs play. So these JV players are going to see each other again Monday night when the JV program goes up against each other. Where I think
so far the Bulldog JVs are up 7-0. This has got to be just a crushing loss for the Little Green of Central. I mean, they were undefeated going into last week's game against Merrimack. They blew a 4th quarter lead. Could have been undefeated coming in here at 4-0. Instead, they're 3-1, and they're just getting the doors blown off by this Bedford team.
Well, it just shows, the level of superiority that Bedford has in this division in particular. No one's given them any games so far this year, and it looks like the teams that they're going to play that's going to give them anything is going to be in the playoffs, either a Pinkerton or a Salem, which is in the other division. Anyway, Central bringing it up, and he gets crushed by a couple of Bedford Bulldogs, and he stopped about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that was number 23. With Travell Randolph on the return there.
So
they're going to give him forward progress to the 25. I was going to say, you raised a good point about the scheduling here. The power in Division I right now is in the divisions that the Bulldogs are not playing. Like Pinkerton and Central is probably a bigger contest than any team that we're going to face this year. Merrimack probably the only other quality program the Bulldogs will meet.
So Jerome under center. Jerome goes back, hands off to, I didn't get the running back's name, but he may have gotten a yard. Yeah, good point, Harry. I mean, I think the competition's in the other division. We know that the only other undefeated team in the league is Pinkerton. We don't have their latest score, but they were losing to Salem earlier. Merrimack is in our division. I think they only have one loss, which I think Central handled them pretty well a couple of games ago. So that tells you what Merrimack's program's about. So anyways, Jerome brings them out. 2 running backs in the eye for Central, second back through, and he stopped at the, that's a no gain. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 on the 26-yard line with 3:42 to go.
That
Ball's
was
running.
13, Joel Ayala Casco on the carry there for 1 yard.
So Bedford JV's doing right where the varsity left off. They're just not giving Central anything, running or passing.
Clock is ticking here on runtime, 3:20 remaining in the game. 45-0 lead for the Bulldogs.
So Central comes out. Looks like Jerome's bringing them under center. 2 in the backfield. Bedford jumped, comes back.
Movement there, yeah, they're going to call.
Flag, yeah. He didn't get back quick enough. So that's going to give them.
Number 51. That was Zach Barnard.
It's going to make it. That's going to make it
offside.
3rd and 3 with that once they mark off that 5-yard penalty. And I know Coach Stank isn't happy when those mistakes are made, whether it's JV or varsity. You just don't want to see stupid penalties, and that was a stupid penalty. So they're trying to wind the clock, and the clock is winding. Under 3 minutes now. Bedford leading 45-0. Jerome under center. Central in the eye. Second back through, and you thought he was going to get close to a 1st down, but I don't even think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
No, that was Ayala Casco again, and he might have gotten 1 yard there. It's going to be 4th and 2.
Yeah, looks like 4th and 3 on the 32. And let's see what Central's going to do. I can't imagine.
Go for it, punt.
I
think they're going to go for it.
I can't imagine they're going to go for it. But you know what? If they do, I wouldn't be surprised if Bedford comes out and takes a couple knees and then this thing ends. I can't see.
They're not going to try to pile on anymore.
I can't see Stank trying to pile this thing on up 45-0. So Central does come out in the eye. They are going for it, and it's a looks like he got quarterback sneak, and he did get it.
Yes.
So Jerome with the quarterback sneak gets.
He had very little resistance there. I think they caught the Bedford line by surprise there. But instead of turning over on downs, they get the 1st down here with under 2 minutes to go. Checking Twitter real quick, get some fresh scores. Hopefully we have some here. Final score, North 21, South 14.
So Jerome back, fires. That's picked off. That's going to take it to the, I thought he was going to take it to the house. I think that was number 10. Looks like Aaron.
11 on the interception for Bedford.
11, so that's Tim Green.
And was that Ayala Casco who came back and made the tackle. So they're going to get the ball back now with the clock running almost to the 1 minute mark. They'll be at the 21-yard line. And like you said, I think you're going to see them take the knee here.
I can't imagine they're going to run a play here. I just can't imagine. And that they're just going to come out and they might even, 54 seconds. They're going to run at least one play.
Yeah, they're going to have to take one knee at least and see what happens here.
They're coming out for did they call this the victory
and it is.
Stance?
Scaling.
Yeah. So take the knee.
Kneels down.
That is
under 40 seconds to go. That will be the last play of the game.
That will be the last play. As a matter of fact, they're coming to the sideline and they're going to line this thing up. So the final score here in Bedford, 45-0. Pretty much of a surprise, pretty much of a shocker, Harry, that Central with those offensive players that they have, Hockham, that they couldn't put some points up against Bedford. I'm a little surprised.
Things went poorly in the first half, and then they went completely off the rails for Central, starting with the failure to cover that pooch kick in the opening kickoff.
Yeah, good point.
And they wound up giving up 7 points there because they gave up the ball on their own 30-yard line instead of being more aggressive and aware where the ball was going. And like I said, they just never recovered from that. I think psychologically they kind of cashed in their chips and coasted the rest of the way.
Once again, it proves the weapons that Bedford has, with Tommy Morgan, the senior quarterback, the senior running back, Ryan Toscano, and then all over the board with Lagulon, Mumpini, Green, Donahue. These kids make things happen, whether it's on the ground or in the air. And so far, what we've seen this year, no one's in the class of Bedford.
None of this pair of conferences.
Not in this conferences, and I can't imagine Merrimack is going to be any competition because Central beat them a few weeks back, and so we're going to have to wait till the playoffs where they're going to run up into a Salem or a Pinkerton.
Right, it'll be the semifinals
Exeter
before we see anybody from the other conference.
Yeah.
I think.
So that's going to. We're going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank Harry Kozlowski for stepping in and doing play-by-play. Did a great job, Harry.
Oh, great working with you, Mike. Really appreciate the opportunity to be on the air with you.
Chris Gentry, who's our able engineer. Nothing happens unless Chris Gentry's here. Bill Jennings. Nice to have Bill back in the booth on camera. He's done a great job. And want to thank everybody here at Bedford Bulldog Stadium for making this thing happen. We're going to wrap this thing up with the final score, 45. Is that 45? 45-0? 45-0.